Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the GSL-English podcast. My name is, of course, Gideon, and yes, it's that time of the week where we just have a good chat about the English language together. So, if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I give you, as always, an audible hello. I hope you're all doing well. And if you are watching on YouTube, then there you go. There's a wave. Thank you for all of your supports. But Gideon, what are we talking about today? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am late to the artificial train. I think I am creating this podcast and that train has left the station. There's countless videos and podcasts about artificial intelligence and learning. But I thought, who cares if the train has already left the station? We're going to start our own train. So jump aboard, because today we are going to talk about Google BARD. I think that's how it's pronounced. Google BARD or BARD. And we're going to see whether that can help us to learn English. So that is the focus of this podcast. And what I'm going to do, if you are watching on YouTube, you will see me do this live. Well, not live, because this is pre-recorded, but live at the point of recording. So I guess it's not live. But yeah, you're going to see my screen. And I'm going to ask artificial intelligence or Google BARD the most commonly asked questions that I get about learning English. And we're going to see if it can help us. Now, I have prepared the questions, but I have not already gone through this exercise and checked what answers it's going to give. So we're just going to go through this together. So it could be interesting. It could be absolutely diabolical, but you can watch this train crash. You can watch the train wreck if it doesn't go well. So we're going to ask Google Bard some interesting questions about learning English. So as I say, if you're on YouTube, you can watch along with me. If you're listening, follow along and see what you think. Now, as a disclaimer, before we begin, I am not a technologically minded person. Or if you want to call it, I'm not a techie at all. In fact, I never have been. I would actually say I go as far as being the opposite of what would be considered a techie. I'm really bad with technology. As you might have heard or seen from previous podcasts, my history or my background is not in technology. I was a gardener. Well, first I worked at a sandwich bar. I was a gardener, painter and decorator, in construction. So I'm used to working with my hands. But ever since I became a teacher and since COVID, technology has become my life, but I don't seem to get any better with it. So this might go wrong today, but it's going to go wrong together. We're going to get through this together. So I'm going to try my best to use artificial intelligence. But I think this is going to be interesting. I've watched a few other videos on their opinions of ChatGPT and all the rest, and it helping us to learn English. So I thought, let's give it a go. Let's put ourselves in the hands of Google Bard and see if we can learn English through it. So here we go. Now, I thought at the beginning I could give you my thoughts on artificial intelligence. Now, I know that you haven't asked for these thoughts, but I'm going to present them anyway because it is my podcast. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on artificial intelligence. I'm going to be honest at the outset. The technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, I know that I am just skimming the surface of the capabilities of artificial intelligence. I just ask it a few stupid questions like, can you write me a story about an elephant wearing a hat? And I find it humorous. But I know that that is just scratching the surface of what artificial intelligence is able to do. The technology is truly incredible. And from what I understand of it, the fact that it keeps on developing, the fact that it will keep on, what's the correct term, growing, is truly incredible. And what it's going to offer in the future in the way of technological advancements, I was reading an article about medical advancements and how it can help. I think it truly is an incredible advancement in technology and probably one of the greatest inventions of our time. But that being said, I do also find it terrifying. The whole premise that this is a computer thinking and I don't know, adapting to our conversations and changing as we speak to it and constantly evolving, that is a concerning thought. I do find it scary. But in my opinion so far, now, please correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments what your opinions are. But I do feel that no matter how much it advances, artificial intelligence cannot replace social interaction. It cannot replace a face-to-face conversation with another human. I think as much as perhaps people would like it to, I don't know. But for me, that giving someone a hug, looking somebody in the eye, artificial intelligence cannot replace that yet. But no, you can't replace a human. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But that's my opinion, and that's where it leads me on to education, because that's the purpose of this. Is there a place for artificial intelligence and education? Particularly, of course, in our case, for learners of English. Is there a place for including artificial intelligence within our study routine? And I would say yes. Personally, I would say yes. I'll give you some pros as to why I think yes. And by pros, I mean advantages. Firstly, if there is a specific point that you need help with, maybe it's certain vocabulary, grammar rule, you just type that into Google BARD, as you're going to see in a moment, and it gives you a clear answer. There's no searching, there's no Googling, there's no flicking through textbooks. Boom. Within a minute, you have your answer. If you're looking to, go through a piece of literature, a bit to practice your reading, boom, you tell it what you want to read about, it comes up. If you want to have a conversation practice with a friend, you need a script, boom, it gives you what to say. So for ease of study, I think artificial intelligence is fantastic. It gives us study material there and then specific to what we need. And the specificity that it can provide is incredible. And also, if we need answers, grammar answers, or perhaps we want to check how to pronounce a certain word, gosh, it's there. So I do feel that there is definitely a place for artificial intelligence, particularly in this case, Google BARD, in our study of the English language. Just as a note, I am not sponsored by Google BARD at all. Not that I'm anywhere near big enough for that, but there is no affiliation for me with artificial intelligence. As you're going to see now, because I'm going to present to you my cons or my disadvantages. As I said, you cannot replace human interaction. And I do feel that with learning a language, human interaction, be that with a teacher, native speaker, an advanced speaker, is essential, because to speak a language fluently, to speak a language confidently, there has to be emotion involved. There has to be speaking from the heart. We have to speak with emotion to speak fluently, to speak naturally. Artificial intelligence to me cannot replace that. And I've also noticed that when I've used it in the past, you do get generic answers. For example, if you ask for synonyms for happy, you'll very often get the same answers. So there's not a wide, at the moment, it's quite restrained. You're within a certain parameter of writing, of learning, but I'm sure that will develop. But also with artificial intelligence, there is a lack of authenticity that you get from a teacher. And what I mean by that, of course, with my students, I'm authentically British. So I bring that to my students. British phrases, accent, pronunciation. If you want to learn with an American, Canadian, Australian teacher, they bring you that authenticity from their culture. But with artificial intelligence, you don't get that. You're talking to a robot. You're talking to a computer. So I think it is great for learning English, but within everything else. It's good to include it into part of our study routine, but not replace it. And I truly believe that. Some people have said, "Oh, Gideon, what do you think is going to happen to teachers with artificial intelligence?" I think there'll still be teachers because we have that authentic approach. We are natural speakers. We bring culture, we bring emotion that robots currently can't. So there's my stupid little opinions. Not that they matter at all. But yeah, I think there's a place for it within the scope of everything else. But let's get into it, okay? Actually, no. Sorry, missed a question here. Before we do, please let me know your opinions on artificial intelligence, whether you think it's good, bad for learning English, whether you've tried it, whether you haven't tried it. What are your thoughts? Please let me know in the comments on YouTube. But if you are listening on Spotify or Apple, you can send me an email, GSL-English1@gmail.com. I'm still trying to find a way of getting just GSL-English@gmail.com, but I am yet unsuccessful. Okay, let's get into it and ask Google Bard some questions about learning English. First question that we are going to ask Google Bard is one that I get asked about artificial intelligence all the time, and that is this. Can artificial intelligence help us learn English? I get asked my opinions on this all the time. So let's ask, can you, being Google Bard or artificial intelligence, can you help me to learn English? Now, my keyboard's off to the side, so if there's any spelling mistakes, just ignore them. If you're listening, it doesn't matter because you can't see if I'm spelling it incorrectly, but on YouTube you can. All right, can you help me to learn English? Let's go. What does it say? And we're going to read the answers together. Oh, it's taking a while to load. Oh, whew, slight panic then that it wasn't going to work. Okay, it has loaded and we have an answer. Let's read it together and let's talk about it. So I asked Google Bard, can you help me to learn English? And this was the response. Yes, I can help you learn English. I can provide you with personalized instruction and feedback on your English skills. I can also help you practice English through conversation and writing exercises. Here are some specific ways I can help you learn English. Provide grammar explanations and practice exercises. I can explain grammar concepts clearly and concisely, using examples and exercises to help you understand and apply them correctly. Expand your vocabulary. I can introduce you to new vocabulary, words and phrases, providing definitions, examples and synonyms to help you learn and use them effectively. Improve your pronunciation. I can listen to your pronunciation and provide feedback on how to improve it. I can also provide specific pronunciation exercises to help you master challenging sounds. That's interesting. We're going to go through all those in a moment. Enhance your listening and comprehension. I can provide you with listening exercises and transcripts to help you improve your ability to understand spoken English. Develop your writing skills. I can review your writing and provide feedback on grammar, vocabulary, style, and overall clarity. I can also help you structure your essays and paragraphs effectively. Practice English conversation. We can engage in interactive conversations to help you improve your fluency and conversational skills. I can also provide feedback on your grammar, pronunciation, and overall fluency. Develop your reading comprehension. I can provide you with reading comprehension exercises and passages to help you improve your ability to understand written English. Tailor my instruction to your needs. I can personalize my instructions to your specific learning goals and preferences. We can focus, hopefully they teach me how to read. We can focus on the areas of English that you find most challenging or that you want to improve the most. I am always learning and improving, and I am committed to providing you with the best possible support for learning English. Feel free to ask me any questions you have about the English language, and I will be happy to help. Wow. Okay, as I said, I didn't practice this. I just prepared the questions. So this is all new to me as well. I'm very impressed with the answer. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually really impressed with this. Yeah. Okay. So I can provide you with personalized instruction and feedback on your English skill. And I thought the word that really stood out to me here is personalized. That's what that's what an English teacher or anyone that is providing English content wants to kind of give. Personalized, individual lessons, because learning English or learning anything is a very personal process. We are all individuals. So I'm very impressed that it mentioned that. Okay, quite a simple one to begin with. Provide grammar, explanations, and practice exercises. Brilliant. So you can go onto Google BARD or ChatGPT and you can say, can you tell me the difference in these prepositions? It will give you an answer, clear answer, and then maybe it will give you some exercises. If not, you can just ask for them. Okay, very good. Next, expand your vocabulary. Brilliant. Exactly what we need. I kind of expected these two. Improve your pronunciation. This one stood out to me. I can listen to your pronunciation. Oh yeah, little microphone here. So I guess you can record yourself and then it will correct your pronunciation. What will be interesting is, what is the preference of pronunciation? I guess you could specify British, American, because of course sometimes we have different pronunciation. But if it can help you with certain difficult sounds like voiced and voiceless, passive voice, things like that, that is brilliant. Enhance your listening comprehension. I can provide you with listening exercises. Absolutely brilliant. Develop your writing skills. I'm so pleased that it included that in there, because many of us ignore writing, of course, because we want to be able to communicate and speak. But don't underestimate the power of writing throughout your English study. This next one, brilliant. Practice English conversation. Practice English conversation. We can engage in interactive conversations to help your fluency. That's really interesting. I would be very interested to know how that works, because conversation is a brilliant thing. It's essential to improving our English skills. Develop your reading comprehension. And this is the interesting point as well. I can tailor my instruction to your needs. Yeah, fantastic. If we tailor something, we make it specifically for you. For example, some people, they will get their suit tailored so it fits them perfectly. Well, here this thing is saying that, I can tailor my instructions just for your needs. So it won't be a generic approach to learning. It'll be just for you. So very good. I think all in all, we can say that yes, Google Bard does feel like they can help us to learn English. And I would agree. Okay, the next question. Now, this is a question that I have to answer a lot of the time, but we're going to let Bard do this for us. And the question is, how can I speak English confidently? Okay. How can I speak English confidently? Let's go. It's loading. Have a guess. What do you think it's going to present? All right. It's giving us a full article. Fantastic. Okay. Let's go through it and see whether we agree. Speaking English confidently requires a combination of practice, preparation, and mindset. Here are some tips that can help you speak English with more confidence. Okay, step 1. Embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. I already agree. Don't let the fear of making mistakes hold you back from speaking English. Everyone makes mistakes when they are learning a new language, and it's perfectly normal. Instead of focusing on your mistakes, focus on learning from them and using them to improve your English skills. Off to a great start there, Bard. I'm going to call it Bard, just for short. Well, it says Bard there. Barry. Maybe we should call it Barry. Barry Bard. I don't know. Anyway, so I completely agree with number 1. Embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. Yeah, if we want to speak confidently, we can't be afraid of making mistakes. So we embrace them. We take those mistakes, we hug them, we embrace them tightly, and then we use them to improve. I couldn't agree more. Mistakes are a brilliant opportunity to highlight the areas that we need to work on. Number 2, immerse yourself in the language. I agree again, Barry BARD. Well done. That name seems to be sticking with me, so we're going to go with Barry BARD. Immerse yourself in the language. Surround yourself with English as much as possible. Listen to English music. Watch English movies and TV shows. Read English books and articles. And try to find opportunities to speak English with native speakers or other learners. The more you are exposed to the language, the more comfortable you will become with it. Very well done. I completely agree. If we immerse ourselves in something, we are completely surrounded by it. And that is what they say. Brilliant, to speak English confidently. I completely agree. One thing that really actually has impressed me here is try to find opportunities to speak English with native speakers or other learners. And sometimes there is this focus that it has to be with a native speaker. It's not true. Native speakers often have less of an understanding of the language than learners of English. So there's nothing wrong with having a conversation with other learners. They might not be perfect, but it's a great opportunity. And also often with other learners, we are more confident because we're not worried about making mistakes as much. So yeah, couldn't agree more, Barry BARD. Immerse yourself in the language. Number 3, practice regularly. The more you speak English, the more confident, you will become. Find opportunities to practice your speaking skills whenever you can, even if it's just talking to yourself or practicing monologues. Oh, wow. Again, I agree. Practice regularly. Isn't it true? The more we speak English, the more confident we get. The first, as an illustration I always like to give, the first time you walk into a gym is terrifying. But the more you go, you get used to it and you get more confident. The more we speak English, the more confident we get. And I like this. Just talk to yourself. Just talk to yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. At home, just talk to yourself. Don't worry about it, but just get speaking. Practice every day. Number 4, join an English conversation group. Joining an English conversation group is a great way to practice speaking English with native speakers or other learners in a low-pressure environment. This can help you build your confidence and improve your fluency. Yeah, great. And often these, they are paid. Often when you join an English conversation group, you do have to pay, but the price is a lot lower than private lessons. And what's great about these groups is that they are designed for you to practice, not designed for you to speak perfect English. You get to meet new people. I do actually hold a speaking club every week. If you are interested in joining, send me an email, send me a message on Instagram or YouTube, and I'll give you all of the information. But yeah, I do agree. English conversation groups are brilliant to join, and there's plenty online. Number 5. Oh, this is interesting. Focus on pronunciation. Pronunciation is an important part of speaking English confidently. Pay attention to how native speakers pronounce individual sounds and words. You can practice pronunciation by shadowing native speakers, listening to pronunciation guides, and using tongue twisters. Yeah, again, I would agree. Pronunciation is important. And if you do want to practice shadow reading, check out I'm trying to think when this one will go out. Yeah, check out my last video on YouTube. I presented a shadow reading exercise. Yeah, focus on pronunciation. The more clear and more confident we feel with our pronunciation, the more likely we are to speak confidently. Number 6, be prepared. Be prepared. What film is that from? That's from a Disney film. Is it Lion King? Or am I going crazy? Be prepared. I'm pretty sure it's from Lion King. Or it's from Nothing. If you know if that's from a film, let me know. I'm pretty sure it's a Disney film. Yeah. Be prepared for common situations. If you know you will be in a situation where you need to speak English, such as job interviews or presentations, prepare some common phrases and answers in advance. This will help you feel more confident and relaxed when the time comes. Completely agree. Barry Bard, Google Bard, you are winning me over here. Be prepared. Yeah, I always say this to my students, that if you know you've got a situation coming up where you're going to need to speak English, maybe it's travel, work, prepare yourself. Not script, I don't agree with that, but just prepare yourself with words and phrases that you're going to need. Just log them in our brain. I don't mean to script out everything, and I don't think that's what BARD is saying, but prepare words, phrases, answers to questions that you might be asked in advance. Brilliant. Okay, and point 7, change your mindset. The way you think about your English skills can have a big impact on your confidence. Instead of focusing on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths and the progress you have made. Believe in yourself and your ability to learn and speak English effectively. Remember, speaking English confidently takes time and practice. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Just keep practicing and you will eventually see improvement. Brilliant. It's all in the mind. Change your mindset. Instead of focusing on our mistakes and our weaknesses, focuses on where you are now, where you started and where you've come. That is really important, and I couldn't agree more. Creating more of a positive mindset to your current level of English is essential. And I like this point. Just keep practicing. Don't put loads of pressure on yourself, but just keep practicing. So far, I am really impressed with Google Bard. We've got some great answers here. So already it's answered 2 extremely important questions. I'm really impressed. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to get a little bit testy here. We're going to test Google Bard. Okay. We're going to ask it this. Sorry if I go quiet when I'm writing. It's because I put my keyboard in a really awkward place. Can you write me a short story? And then ask me questions about it to test my comprehension. Okay, can you write me a short story and then ask me questions about it to test my comprehension or my understanding? I don't know what it's going to come up with here. I promise you, I have not done this in advance. So let's see what it comes up with, and maybe we'll do this together. Oh, Oh, wow, that was quick. Wow, it's already come up with a story. What? Oh, it's a long story. Oh, it didn't give me questions. What did I... Sure, here is a short story. Oh, it didn't give me questions. Okay, let's see if we can... can you please... I feel like I should say please. Ask me questions about this story to test my understanding. As I say, my keyboard's in a really awkward place. Okay, let's see if it comes up with questions now. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, it's come up with questions. It has. It's come up with 10 questions. Okay. Let's just put and answers. So it's going to come up with the answers, but I'm not looking yet. Okay, so it's loading the answers ready. Okay, let's do this together. So we're going to read the story, okay? And then we're going to try and answer these questions. Just as a note, this is a great exercise just to practice your reading. Brilliant. I like to do this exercise with many of my students, just to practice your reading and your comprehension and your understanding. But do you see how quickly that's come up with a whole exercise for us to do? Not even a minute. So brilliant. Let's read the story. As I say, this is all new to me. And then we're going to ask the questions and see how we get on. Here's the story. The Lost Treasure. Deep within the heart of the ancient forest, where sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense canopy of leaves, lay a hidden treasure. Local legend whispered of a hidden cavern, filled with gold and jewels, guarded by mischievous sprites and hidden behind a waterfall that gushed and roared with the power of 1,000 rivers. Young Thomas, a boy with a heart full of adventure and a spirit that yearned for the unknown, yearned to uncover the secrets of the hidden treasure. His days were filled with stories of the legendary cavern, passed down through generations of villagers, stories that fueled his imagination and ignited a burning desire to embark on a quest. One moonlit night, under the cloak of darkness, Thomas ventured into the depths of the forest, his footsteps guided by the whispers of the wind and the rustling of leaves. He followed a treacherous path, his heart pounding with anticipation, his mind picturing the gleaming riches that awaited him. As he neared the waterfall, its deafening roar echoing through the trees, Thomas spotted a narrow crevice behind the cascading water. Without hesitation, he plunged into the cold, churning water, the force of the current pushing him towards the hidden opening. With a surge of determination, Thomas squeezed through the narrow passage, emerging into a dimly lit cavern. His eyes widened in awe as he took in the sight before him. The cavern walls were lined with gold, sparkling with an iridescent glow. Jewels of every colour imaginable lay scattered across the floor, their brilliance illuminating the darkness. But as Thomas' eyes feasted on the riches, he noticed a strange glow coming from a corner of the cavern. He followed the light, his footsteps echoing in the eerie silence, and discovered a group of mischievous sprites, their bodies shimmering with an otherworldly energy. The sprites, initially startled by Thomas's presence, quickly realized his intentions were not malicious. They explained that the treasure was not theirs to give, but rather a guardian of the forest, a symbol of the natural world's riches. Thomas, humbled by their wisdom, understood that the treasure lay not in gold and jewels, but in the preservation of the forest and its delicate balance. He apologized for his intrusion and vowed to protect the hidden cavern and the precious resources it held. With a newfound respect for nature's wonders, Thomas left the cavern, his heart filled with gratitude for the experience. He emerged from the forest, the rising sun casting its golden rays upon the land, a symbol of the new understanding he had gained. The hidden treasure remained undisturbed, a secret guarded by the mischievous sprites and watched over by the young boy who had learned the true value of nature's riches. And Thomas, forever changed by his adventure, continued to embrace the world with a deeper appreciation for the beauty and delicate balance of the natural world. Wow. That is my first time reading that story, and that was amazing. Incredible technology. Good story. Okay, while it's still in our head, let's answer some questions. Actually, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you the questions and see if you can answer them, and then we'll go through the answer. Where is the hidden treasure located? Where is the hidden treasure located? Give you a few seconds. Question 2. Who guards the treasure? I don't know. Who guards the treasure? Maybe you can pause it and write down your answers. Question 3. What motivates Thomas to find the treasure? What motivates him to find the treasure? Question 4. Describe the journey Thomas takes to find the treasure. Describe the journey. Maybe you can kind of pause this video and go back and answer these questions. Might as well do the exercise together now. What does Thomas find in the cavern? What does Thomas find there? Question 6. What do the sprites explain to Thomas about the treasure? So what did they say to Thomas about this treasure? Question 7. What lesson does Thomas learn from his experience? What did he learn? What did he take from it? Say the answers out loud. Get practice talking. Question 8. How does Thomas change after his adventure? So mentally, how did he change? Question 9. What is the significance of the hidden treasure remaining undisturbed? Why was it not touched? And question 10, how does the story emphasize the importance of protecting nature? So they're the 10 questions, and it gives us the answers. Honestly, I can't stress what a fantastic exercise this is, and you could probably make it specific as well about a story that you wanted. So question 1, where was the hidden treasure located? The hidden treasure is located deep within the heart of an ancient forest where sunlight struggles to penetrate the dense canopy of leaves. Who guards the treasure? The treasure is guarded by mischievous sprites, creatures with an otherworldly energy. Question 3. What motivates Thomas to find the treasure? Thomas is motivated to find the treasure by his adventurous spirit and his fascination with the legends surrounding it. Question 4. Describe the journey Thomas takes to find the treasure. Thomas embarks on his quest on a moonlit night. Following a treacherous path through the depths of the forest, he braves the deafening roar of the waterfall and plunges into the cold, churning water, emerging into a hidden cavern. Great details there. Question 5. What did Thomas find in the cavern? Thomas discovers a dimly lit cavern lined with gold and littered with jewels of every colour imaginable. 6. What did the sprites explain to Thomas about the treasure? The sprites explain that the treasure is not meant to be taken, but is a guardian of the forest and a symbol of nature's world riches. 7. What did Thomas learn from his experience? Thomas learns that the true treasure lies not in material wealth, but in the preservation of nature and the delicate balance of the natural world. Question 8. How does Thomas change after his adventure? Thomas emerges from the cavern with a newfound respect for nature's wonders and a vow to protect the forest and its resources. 9. What is the significance of the hidden treasure remaining undisturbed? The treasure's undisturbed presence signifies the harmony between nature and the human spirit. Question 10. How does the story emphasize the importance of protecting nature? The story highlights the interconnectedness of humans and nature, emphasizing the importance of protecting the natural world for the sake of humanity and the planet's well-being. I am so impressed. So you could have spent ages going through that article, that story there, sorry. What a great exercise. I'm so impressed with Google BARD. So we've just asked it 3 questions there. We've asked 3 questions about, different things and how it can use us. But you get the idea. Well, I get the idea now that it is very much beneficial. So there definitely, 100%, in my opinion, is a place for artificial intelligence for English of learners. For learners of English. I would really recommend including it in your study routine. And you can kind of play around with it, so it seems. You can ask it random questions. Help you, I want to study English today, but I don't know what to do. Can you give me something? I don't know. I would recommend giving it a try. I've put the link to Google BARD in the caption below if you're watching on YouTube. If not, just look it up. It'll come up pretty quickly. But I would recommend this. I don't think it should replace everything. It is part of our learning process. So don't just replace everything with learning English through artificial intelligence. It doesn't replace human interaction, the authenticity, learning about culture, but there definitely is a place for it. So there you go. Bit of a random episode today, but I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, guys, just be consistent with your English learning and enjoy it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just consistently learn, consistently practice, and go for it. I hope you enjoyed that today. I will see you all very soon. Have a good one, guys.